Hi, it's Josephine from the Pointe shop. I'm at Oklahoma City Ballet right now, and I'm with Amy Potter, like Harry Potter.
Yep.
And so today we're going to be talking about her pointe shoes and what she does to them. And she's also going to give you some tips on how to make your pointe shoe box last a little bit longer. So first of all, what kind of pointe shoes do you wear?
I wear maple leafs, Freed maple leafs.
And this is very interesting to me because Freed has two different types. There's the studios and then there's the classics. So studio is usually a stock shoe. And the classics are handmade from different makers. And what was cool about these is that it's actually a studio pointe shoe. So it's a studio pointe shoe, but you can customize it if it's the maple leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I noticed right away is how low this heel is.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, so does the maple leaf come like this or do you cut it down?
I cut it down. So I used to wear Studio 2s. And then I had to show off more of my arch, I would sew them down. And I just got so tired of that and then found out about maple leafs, and they're pretty similar to Studio 2s because they're the Studio series.
This is a really popular custom for a lot of professionals. They cut down the fabric on the side and on the heel. So you probably won't see a Freed with a heel this low, but a lot of dancers have to sew it down because it's so baggy when you go up on pointe, right?
Yeah, gives you a cleaner look.
Exactly. So it's like less fabric, you're showing off your foot more than your shoe, all of that. But when you're a dancer in training, you guys have a hard time keeping the heel on. So a lot of dancers have trouble with low heels, which is why most of pointe shoes, they come with the higher heel. So this is a cool custom. If you don't like that extra bagginess in the heel, this is kind of cool to have. Studio 2 that you had, it was like a flatter and wider shoe, right?
Yes.
So they have the flatter and wider shoe, and then this shoe, this is the profile or the crown. That one's a little bit higher. And there's a little bit more space back here, and the platform is super, super flat and really sharp on the edges too.
Which I like.
Yeah, because you don't have to darn them.
Right.
Because a lot of people that wear Freeds, they'll notice that the platform is a little bit rounded. Even the Studio 2s, right?
Even the Studio 2s were a little more round. I smush it down so it is not so
so
massive.
you can kind of take a look at the difference. This is a brand new shoe, and that's a shoe that she customized for herself.
Yeah.
So she flattens the box so it's wider, and it gives her a little bit more space in your metatarsal.
Yes.
What is the process of getting your shoe ready for pointe?
So basically, take them out of the bag, put them in a door, shove them in a door, close the door, break the shank. These shanks come really hard.
That's true. Much harder than the classic.
Yeah, so I really have to, I find where my arch hits the shoe and put that spot in the door and then bend it from there. And then I flip them over and step on them, kind of smush them around. And then I use jet glue just on the tip for now. And then once I wear them a few times, I'll kind of work it up for more support, but I always jet glue before I wear any shoes.
Yeah, because it has a little bit more support in the box. So do you generally break your box faster than your shank?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so everybody does this a little bit differently. Some people will break the shank first, some people will break the box first. And it also depends on what kind of brand you're in too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that in some brands you'll probably break the shank faster.
Yeah.
So, or even a different model. So you have to determine where you break your shoes first before you decide where to jet glue. So don't just put it anywhere you want. You should do it where you actually need it.
Yeah.
So she mentioned that she puts this in a door and breaks the shoe.
Yes.
So I don't recommend this for dancers that are in training, because then you're probably paying for your own shoes at this point. Amy gets free shoes, so she gets to do that. You go through how many pairs of pointe shoes?
Probably a pair a week, depending on what we're dancing. But
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure during Nutcracker season you go through more.
Yes.
So she gets a pair a week. So if you don't want to go through that many shoes, you probably should not do that.
Yeah.
So don't use foreign objects. You can slightly bend your shoe a little bit if you need a little bit more articulation, but don't just break the shoe in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you jet glue after you smush the box?
Yes. Yeah, so I'll smush it down, kind of mold it, And then I'll just jet glue just the tip of the box. And then once I wear them a few times, I'll start going up. And then if the shank is starting to get soft and I'm trying to really, like if the box is still good, but the shank is getting soft, I'll jet glue on the bottom around the shank.
So that's a way to actually shape your pointe shoes.
Yeah.
So if you squish the box down and then jet glue, you're reshaping your box to kind of fit your bunions a little bit better.
Exactly.
And there's different types of feet. So Amy's a little bit wider throughout the metatarsal part, and some people with wide feet, they have a lot of fat on their foot.
Yeah.
So they almost have like built-in toe pads. But then Amy's actually a little bit bonier. So there's a lot of parts that are sticking out. So like her bunions stick out a little bit, her knuckles are sticking out a little bit, but so
gnarly.
So if that is you, if you have that problem, you're probably gonna get more blisters and more calluses than other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
probably more buildup.
I know, more callus. So I definitely saw like your toe earlier.
Yes.
She had this great callus buildup and then it literally ripped off her toe.
Yeah.
So when that happens, so I'm sure that's going to happen to some of you at some point in your dance career. How do you deal with that? Because you still have to dance even after that gnarly injury.
So these are great. I bought this on Amazon. Second Skin squares. They're like little jelly things.
That looks comfy.
Yeah, they're super awesome. And they come with 200. I mean, I won't go through this for another year or so. I do that, but before I do that, I bought this like numbing stuff for your mouth.
For your mouth. This is what we're doing.
For like dentures and stuff.
This is what ballerinas have to go through.
But it works, it really does. It numbs it for, 45 minutes to an hour, and then you have to reapply it. But yeah, this like saved my life.
Yeah, so if you have a really gnarly blister, or if you're going through, you have to go through rehearsals for something, but something's really hurting you, then you can resort to the numbing liquid, and then the squares are awesome.
Another thing with blisters, you want to dry it out as much as you can. People say like, put Neosporin on it, but I just like dried it out with everything I could. Hydrogen peroxide, just slept with it out of my sheets, soaked it in Epsom salt, like really just keep it dry, and every now and then put some Neosporin on it, but you really want to keep it hard, because if it softens, then it's hard for the skin to rebuild, I think. I don't know.
It's all very sexy talk here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for showing us how you customize your shoes to fit your foot. If you're ever in Oklahoma City, come watch Oklahoma City Ballet, and of course you're going to remember Amy Potter because Harry Potter. And I know, such a nerd. I just went to Harry Potter World, so I'm like super stoked about it. Well, thank you so